He made pretend he was a millionaire and told this group of teens, said, yo, if you unlive your friend, I'll give you $9 million, I believe it was. Do me a favor, y'all. Hit that like button real quick. It's an easy way to support the channel. Don't cost you a single penny. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully everybody had a great day. Looking forward to having a better weekend. So I was supposed to go to my father's house this evening after I got off the shop. So he wanted to record a video for his wife. They've been together, 30 something years, basically just to speak about what he would like done with some of his stuff, some of his possessions. So I was looking forward to it, but I was also very nervous because I know there's questions that I'm going to ask. I'm a firm believer in don't ask a question you don't want to know the answer to. So I firmly believe in that. But it being the dynamics of our relationship, there's a lot that I don't know. For instance, I didn't even know what hospital I was born in. My father just told me last week. Prior to that, I had no idea what hospital I was born in. There's a lot of stuff like that that I don't really know. I don't have anybody to ask. My mother would have been the go-to person who I would have asked. Unfortunately, my mother's been, my mother passed away 20 years ago. So there is so many questions that I have. How did my mom and dad meet? Things like that. Stuff about my father's childhood that I would like to know, that I'm very interested in. And I want to do it on video for two reasons. One, when my children ask, tell me about your dad, I'm going to put that video on. I'm going to show them this is his voice. This is what he looks like. Here you go. Secondly, that I know I have so many family members that reach out and say, Frank, because of the interview you did with my son, my brother, my family member, my friend, I never have to forget what their voice sounds like. Anytime that I want to hear their voice, I can go to YouTube. I can see them, even though it might not be in the best shape and necessarily the way I want to remember them, but I can see them. So that made me realize that once I started talking to my father again, I said, look, I'd like to interview you. Just something that I have on video for myself, for my children. He said, absolutely. He's like, I'm an open book. You can ask me anything, and I will 100% tell you the truth. So I was supposed to go do that today when he called me and told me, so he had his dates mixed up. We were going to do it on a day when his wife wasn't there, just so we could have, some alone time, me and him. But it's next Friday. He thought it was this Friday, or she thought it was this Friday. So next Friday, it gives me a little more time to prepare. And I was a little relieved when he told me. I was a little relieved, a little bit. I was a little relieved, to be honest with you. Maybe I have a little more time to prepare myself. Because since I started talking back with my father, I've been struggling, to be honest with you. I've been struggling in the sense that, regardless of me and my father's relationship, regardless of stuff that happened in the past, that's my father. I love him. My father, he had a lot of good qualities also. A lot of the generosity that I have, my father exhibited those qualities. So did my mother. Both of them were very generous people and caring people. But my father, I remember, for instance, being young and with my father, and he'd pay people's bill. They didn't have money. He owned a store at one time. A mother come in there, or a family, they didn't have food. My father would provide for them, and he did this dozens and dozens of times. He was known for that. He was known, if there was somebody struggling in the community, he would take care of them, whether it's buying laundry detergent and maybe a dryer, whatever it was. Those are memories that I have of my father, those good memories that I have of him. So like I said, it'll give me a little more time to prepare, and we're going to be going away this week, and we're going to be going to Philly. So Sunday and Monday we'll be in Philly. The kids do not have school because Martin Luther King Day is on Monday. So Major has no school, no wrestling. So me and Rachel decided, Sunday when I get up, we're out. We'll go to Kensington. It's supposed to be very cold. There's supposed to be like a cold front coming in from the Midwest, from the Southeast. There's going to be a cold front, and vortex winds are going to be coming from the north. So when those winds meet, it forms clouds. They're called Columbus clouds. They're called Columbus clouds, and it's gonna be cold as shit. You know what I'm saying? Columbus cows. It's going to be cold as shit. I hope y'all didn't bite on any of that I just said. I don't know what the hell I was talking about, if I'm being honest. As y'all could tell, I hit that pen before I came in here to bust it up with y'all. I seen this news article and it tripped me out where I was like, yo, I got to bring this to the channel. And it's scary because I 100% see how this could happen to somebody who isn't mature enough for social media, somebody who's young. I 100% could see how this could happen. So let me read this to y'all. Listen, I just got this. It's like a pop socket in the mail, but I've been waiting for this joint for a while. It's super thin. It doesn't stick up more than your camera bump, and it's stuck on there. You know what I mean? It's magnetic, so don't stick to that. That's a ladder. It should be magnet, right? Well, you could charge through it. It's a magnet. You can stick it on the wall. It's some dope shit we got going on here. Yeah, I don't know why it don't stick to that. That's a lot. It's aluminum. I don't know. What do I know? Don't stick over there either. Oh yeah, I could feel it. I could feel it biting on there. Yep, it'll stick to there. So yeah, I got it today. It's dope. I like it. I just can't figure out, like, it moves around, so you got to, like, slide your fingers in there. I'm not too good at that. I can see myself breaking this shit. I'm a little bit of, like, a brute sometimes. But anyway, let me bring this story to y'all. Indiana man who masterminded thrill killing of teen by her supposed friends gets sentenced. There was a guy, he made pretend he was a millionaire and told this group of teens, said, yo, if you unlive your friend, I'll give you $9 million, I believe it was. So I'm going to read it here to you, and maybe I'll throw in a couple pics also. So it shows the girl here. She's very young. So it says Darren Schiller was sentenced to 99 years for catfishing a group of teens to unlive their friend and unliving that he solicited. For the mere thrill of it, a judge said on Thursday. This is crazy. At first, I thought it was one person, but it says group of friends. All right. Cynthia Hoffman was 19 when she was lured to her unliving in 2019 by a group of teens she believed were her friends. 4 torturous years later, the mastermind of her unliving was sentenced Thursday to 99 years in prison. Darren Schillmiller, now 25, cried in an Alaskan courtroom. Don't cry now, baby boy. Don't cry now, right? Before Superior Court Andrew Peterson announced his fate. This is an intentional, premeditated unliving for hire. Y'all know what I mean when I say unliving. Peterson said, you plotted with other co-defendants to unlive somebody you never met for no reason other than the sheer thrill of controlling others and seeing it be done. Schillmiller, who will not be eligible for parole consideration until he turns 70, according to his sentencing terms. I don't really think he should ever be eligible for parole, to be honest with you. And I don't believe that in all cases, but this is some creepy shit. One down, the victim's father, Timothy Hoffman, told the reporters Thursday outside court, referring to the remaining suspects charged in connection with his daughter's unliving. Okay, so he was the mastermind, so there's going to be people that he was soliciting to do this, right? During the sentencing hearing, he described Cynthia as his right-hand man. This is the father referring to his daughter, who helped him with his contracting business and said she wanted to make friends more than anything in the world. Schillmiller, an Indiana man, was accused of soliciting, unliving, and, deviancy of of that kind, the R word, in an online catfishing scam in which he posed as a man from Kansas using a fake photo of a young, handsome man and offering millions for videos of unliving, the R word, and some other creepy shit involving children, authorities said. So it seemed like Cynthia, the victim in all this, right? She used to work with her father at his contracting business, and they were close, what he says. And this dude, he was posing, so he was using a picture and a profile of a young kid. He said he was from Kansas, and he said he would pay to get videos of people being unlived, the R word, and creepy shit with kids. In Alaska, several teens took the bait and ultimately lured Hoffman, a vulnerable girl who was developmentally disabled, on a nature hike. Oh man. So the girl she was a little slow, and they lured her out. And probably being slow, she, and this is sad as shit, man. That's crazy. And being at a disadvantage mentally, they preyed upon that. I'm sure they didn't choose her just out of the blue. They preyed upon that. Damn, man. And that's why she told her father, I just want to make friends. She just wants to be normal. Her whole life, she probably did not fit in with the other kids, probably got bullied and make fun of. And, she's seen somebody taking interest in. That's crazy. This shit took a whole turn. I thought this is something that I didn't think it was. I'm glad that I took the time to read this, man. Sort of. This is sad as shit. Wow. Police said instead of going on the nature hike, she was bound with duct tape. Got one in the back of the head and thrown in a river. Oh, my God. Miller, that's the dude, had pleaded guilty last year to one count of first-degree count of solicitation to commit unliving. The scheme included claiming that he had recently won the lottery and would pay $9 million for this video showing a real-life unliving. So he said he hit the lottery, had all this money, and these kids bought into it. I want to find out how many it was. So several teen accomplices were charged in connection with Hoffman's unliving. Denali Bremer, who's now 23, pleaded guilty in February 2023 to first-degree unliving. She had coordinated the unliving, authorities said. She was the main perpetrator, the one that was able to come up with the plan and manipulate everybody else into following it, Anchorage police detectives said. The victim, who was ecstatic after meeting Bremer in high school, considered the girl her best friend. Damn, she just wanted a friend. She just wanted somebody to hang out with, this girl, and preyed upon that and took advantage of that. That's crazy. She came home and bragged, "Dad, I finally have a friend." Cynthia's sobbing father testified this week. Oh, my God. That poor girl, man. She just thought she had a friend, right? And being too naive, right? That's so sad, man. Because we all know somebody like that, right? We all know somebody who's at a mental disadvantage that you could see somebody else preying upon. Bremer's sentencing hearing is February 12th. I'm definitely going to bring that to y'all. Caleb Leyland, now 24, pleaded guilty in November to one count of second-degree unliving. He had loaned his truck to Bremer and another alleged accomplice in exchange for a promise of $500,000. So they told him, yo, we're going to go do this. We're going to give you $500,000. I'm sure they didn't tell him they're getting $9 million. They probably said they were getting $1 million. Yo, we'll split it with you. We'll give you 5. We'll keep the other 5. He's scheduled for sentencing on June 10th. Caden McIntosh has been charged with unliving and tampering with evidence. He has pleaded not guilty to both charges and is being held without bail while awaiting trial. Police allege McIntosh, who was 16 at the time, pulled the trigger on a 9mm pistol to do the actual unliving. 2 other teens have been charged in juvenile court in connection with the unliving, authorities said. Those cases are not open to the public. So because they're being charged as juveniles, they don't put their names out there. Whenever any court proceeding, anything that happens in court is public record. I mean, if it has to do with adults. Some places that applies to juveniles if they get charged as an adult. But if the juveniles don't get charged as an adult and they keep it in juvenile court, then you can't find out who they are. Juveniles have a right to privacy. It's called the Information Act, the Freedom of Information Act, where all you have to do is, if you want to find out anything, any court proceedings, you go to the court that it happened in and you file the Freedom of Information Act. That's how all these YouTubers be getting, videos like inside jail and police badge, cams, and all that stuff. So, damn, man, that dude was, I want to find out how old he was. He was 25. He's now 25, right? And this happened in 2019. So this happened 4 years ago. So he was 21 at the time. Man, the girl was 19. Let me see how old the other people were. Now 23. So they were 19 also. Damn, man, that's sad. They had a group of these kids, right? So it was the one, the girl that they said it was the guy, the one that he said he was the millionaire and he was willing to pay for the unliving video. So it's him, it's the girl, the one they said pulled the strings and orchestrated it. Then it's the guy who lent them the truck. Man, that's crazy. So the dude lent them the truck. They probably told him, yo, we're getting $1 million. That's why they decided to give him $500,000. They said, look, we'll split it with you. He probably found out when they got caught and got interrogated and was like, dang, they was getting $9 million and they only gave me this $5. Oh, I'm turning on them. I'm telling on all them. I'm sure that's what happened. The girl, that's a case, man. That's sad. And I hope they all get what they deserve, to be honest with you. Now that I hear the facts of the case, the girl who preyed upon her, who was like, yo, I just want to be your friend, come on, let's go. That's nuts. That's nuts. She said she met her in school. Because I was going to say, it sort of reminded me of like a social media. Well, they met on social media, actually. The dude reached out to them on social media. So it is a social media thing where imagine that happening, right? So everybody's not mentally mature enough to have social media. That's very apparent, not just by this. This is just an example. Wow. I think that's why we have to be very present and very involved in our children's lives, right? Because these kids were 15 at the time, 15, 19. They were 15 and 19. Like, think about that, and then the other juveniles, they didn't say how old they were, but we know they're young. That's why we got to be involved in our kids. We got to know what's going on. We got to have that open line of communication and let them know, look, there is nothing at all that is off limits for us to speak about. I tell my kids, you're never going to get in trouble for coming to talk to me about something that you got going on. I promise you that no matter what it is, you're not going to get in trouble if you come talk to me, if you bring it to me. Now, if I find that on my own, that's a different story. Then we'll talk about it when that happens. But you bring it to me, you'll never be in trouble. And I think it's worked pretty good. I hope they all get roofed, to be honest with you. I hope they all get what they're supposed to get. I'm going to include any photos that I find. I'll include it in here. That's sad, though, man. That's extremely sad. Wow. Say a prayer for that father. So that's it, y'all. Have a great night. Remember to be kind, loving, and patient. And I thank you guys for watching the content. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, y'all. Hit that like button real quick. It's an easy way to support the channel. Don't cost you a single penny. It helps tell YouTube, yo, push this video out. I thank y'all.